Good morning, everyone. You're on with Pastor Hosea Collins, Senior Pastor here at Calvary Baptist Church in Hawthorne, California. Thank you for joining us again for our morning devotionals. We're still on the series of crisis management. Our subject from today is God is the source of our supply. God is the source, so don't trip over no resource. As long as you know God is the source. Our scripture reading is going to come from Deuteronomy chapter 8, verses 2 through 4. And it reads as follows. Thou shalt remember all the way which the Lord thy God led thee these 40 years in the wilderness, to humble thee and to prove thee, to know what was in thine heart, whether thou wouldest keep his commandments or not. And he humbled thee and suffered thee to hunger. He fed thee with manna which thou knewest not, neither did thy fathers know, that he might make thee know that man does not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the Lord doth man live. Thy raiment waxed not old upon thee, neither did thy foot swell these 40 years. Think about this. We're in the book of Deuteronomy, where God led Moses, of course, to go to Egypt and caused Pharaoh to let his people go. And we know the story that they were in the wilderness for 40 years. Now they're reaching the end of those years, and Moses is getting ready to expire, where Joshua is going to take them on into the promise. So this is God utilizing Moses to preach those final sermons. These were the final words of God through Moses to the children of Israel. So these were very critical, because these are the messages God gave them before they entered into the promised land. Now, what God told them through Moses, in essence, was this. Remember how you was in the wilderness for 40 years and you didn't have no food to eat, and I fed you with manna from heaven? You didn't have water to drink, and I gave you water from a rock? Remember how you had the same clothes and I didn't let your clothes get old? How I didn't allow your feet to swell so that your shoes were preserved? God said, remember how I kept you without any external factors other than you trusting and relying on me. God said, I kept you for 40 years with nothing. He says, now when you come into this land flowing with milk and honey, don't lose your mind and get it twisted and start to depend on the things you have. Start to thinking or getting the big head because now you've got houses you didn't build and vineyards you didn't plant. Don't begin to think that you're all that because of what you have and get to the point that you become so dependent in the blessing that Satan can threaten you with the loss of that to get you to compromise your relationship and standards with me. See, so anytime God's getting ready to bring you into a land of plenty, he will often start with a land of barely enough. You will often go through a season of scarcity where it looks like you're barely making it. God will sometimes allow you to suffer unemployment and keep you in that state, not let nothing get turned off, make sure you eat good every day. So when he bless you with the best job you ever had in your life, you don't put your faith in that job, but your faith remains in God. So you don't compromise your relationship with God over that job, where Satan can't threaten you with what God gave you to cause you to compromise what God told you. So that's why God does this. Because when you realize that it's God that's the source of your supply and everything else is a resource, then Satan will never be able to use that to get you to change on the source. So if you find yourself there now while we're going through this pandemic, God's just allowing you to see he's still the source of all of your supply. So when this is over with and he bless you greater than you've ever had before, you don't get it twisted. You know that's just a tool. God is your source. And the same God that kept you with nothing, the something he gave you was because he wanted that to be used for his glory. Yeah, you're going to be blessed by it and your family, but know that it's all from God. He didn't need none of that to keep you. When you understand that, you qualified for more when you know it all comes from him. So meditate on this all day and be grateful right where you are, because God's getting ready to take you higher than you've ever been. God bless.